In the 1990s, way back in the 1990s, in about 1995, we got a different kind of Mickey Mouse short, a very 90s Mickey Mouse short, which was called Mickey Mouse in Runaway Brain. This is kind of a different short. It's like an actual horror Mickey Mouse short. And it's interesting that we got this because it's so 90s. Like, it is extremely 90s, extremely like that kind of style of animation. It was actually made by the I think the Paris studio or the French studio, which had a lot to do with Beauty and the Beast, apparently, because there's a behind the scenes I found on YouTube actually of them making it. And it wasn't really like that well known, although it was nominated for an Oscar, but it's kind of interesting. This was directed by the same director, Chris Bailey, who directed most of the Clerks animated series, which is interesting. This is better animated, and also worked on Kim Possible and Blazing Samurai. This is much better animated than Clerks, the animated series, and it's really well animated. It has a fluidity to it. It's really gorgeous. It's actually interesting. So it opens, basically, you get Mickey. He's he's playing a fighting game, which is basically like the Seven Dwarfs fighting the witch from Snow White, like them acknowledging a fighting game. In '95, that was pretty controversial. Parents did not like fighting games because there was fighting in them. And then Minnie comes in and goes, "Oh, did you forget our anniversary?" He's like, "Oh, we'll go do this thing that was cheaper," which I forget, on the newspaper. And she thinks he means a trip to Hawaii, which he can't afford, because if you look at his crappy slacker pad, which I like that Mickey Mouse has a slacker pad. This is also interesting in that we don't get these kind of radically different Mickey Mouse, like acknowledging the Mickey Mouse we got like in the 30s with How By Works. We kind of just got this like safe Mickey Mouse for all these years. And it's interesting, in Runaway Brain, they would acknowledge the kind of more fun, weirder Mickey Mouse in this in the 90s, when it just didn't seem like they would do that. And they really didn't again until the more recent Paul Rudish ones. But yeah, you see that he has a messy room, and he needs to make $1,000 to get them a trip to Hawaii. So he decides to go to a job, go to this job that will pay him exactly the amount he needs. And he actually says lobotomy in this funny way, like Lobotomy Street or something. It was really funny. I was like, oh, that's cute that they there's a lot of jokes. Like, I actually would recommend watching this twice, because there's a lot of cute, I mean, there's some dumb ones, like interesting things, like there's an Exorcist reference when he walks up to the house. There's like, Disney loves doing Steamboat Willie references. Like, cut it out, I get it, it was the first cartoon. Make a Buster Keaton reference, which is what Steamboat Willie was referencing. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, he goes to this place to what he hears is brainless work. He runs into a doctor, this monkey, who's a doctor who's voiced by Kelsey Grammer, actually, who, it seems most things I read, written, or videos made about this would say from The Simpsons. I'm like, or from Frasier guys, or Cheers, or anyway, Kelsey Grammer, he's pretty well known, but whatever. He basically is going to switch his brain with this monster Frankenstein thing. He does, and then the Frankenstein monster brain that's now in Mickey Mouse and makes him look like this horrible monster sees Minnie in his wallet, because he asks him to go in his wallet. Mickey, come on, bro. And then he sees that and goes after Minnie, because he thinks Minnie is very attractive, and they go on this like crazy chase scene, and the animation has this really nice beautifulness to it. It's really great. I really love the animation in this, and I thought it was actually a really great short. It's not on Disney Plus, which I don't understand. I think Disney Plus really needs to get on, because this is like, restore this. I think people would love to see Runaway Brain. It's a really great short. It was actually nominated for an Oscar. It lost to Wallace and Gromit, A Close Shave, which, to be honest, yeah, that's better, but this is actually pretty impressive in terms of animation. In terms of what Disney was doing at the time, this is radically different, actually. And I talked about that Red Riding Hood Redux or whatever previously. It seems like there were people at the studio who were like, well, what if we did this with it? And they'd make it a short and they'd release it, and then Disney would be like, yeah, but let's not talk about that again. That was cool that you did that, and the Oscar nomination made us look nice, but what if we just never did that after this? And it's like, why did you could have really done something interesting with it. In America, this played with a king in King Arthur's court. In internationally, played with a Goofy movie, and if anyone is watching this from Australia, it played before Toy Story 2. Apparently it also played before George of the Jungle, and a bunch of other things. I noticed with some of these shorts, it just ends up playing with crap for infinite times, I guess. I don't know. I think this is a great short. It's a great short for Halloween. If you've never seen it, I posted a Daily Motion link on Twitter. I will post it in the description of this video. That's for when it's a different thing. But if anyone wants to post this in the chat, there's a good version on Daily Motion. I'm sorry, YouTube, to be promoting Daily Motion. I'm sure it really hurts your views, being the biggest video service and all that. But I think this is really great. If you like Mickey Mouse, you want to see a different version of Mickey Mouse, or a horror Mickey Mouse, and show you like what the potential of a different kind of 90s Mickey Mouse could have been, this is a great short to check out.